Episode 65. The Brawler is a subclass of the fighter. Its skills are mostly the dirty, underhanded tricks of a street thug. Take this sand toss, for instance, a cheap move that throws sand to dirty someone's clothes. The Brawler, hearing Yi Shu's call, immediately and without hesitation, flung a handful of sand onto the blood gunner. Yi Shu broke into a sweat, realizing this guy was a total newbie, and quickly offered a tip.
The true essence of sand toss is to throw it as soon as it's off cooldown, right into their face.
Sand toss has a hidden effect. If you throw it directly into someone's eyes, there's a chance to blind them. Since it's a hidden effect, the blindness chance and duration aren't listed in the system stats, but through player testing, even the lowest level sand toss has a 50% chance to blind, lasting up to 4 seconds. But when the skill is maxed out, it boasts a 100% blind chance and an 8-second duration. That effect is truly terrifying. In the early days of Glory, brawlers could get by with just one sand toss. If they ran into someone they didn't like, they'd fling a handful of sand right in their face. While blinded, the player's screen would go completely black, seeing nothing. The brawlers would then seize the chance to rush in and deliver a brutal beating. It was a truly despicable and underhanded tactic. But nowadays, players have discovered quite a few secret techniques to counter the sand toss. The simplest counter is to just turn your view away when the sand toss comes flying. Up, down, left, right, any direction will do. While sand toss does deal some damage by dirtying clothes, compared to its terrifying hidden effect, that little bit of damage is something anyone can handle. But the most unbeatable counter to sand toss was an accessory: glasses. This thing, just like the mithril pendant Yi Shu currently has no stats at all. It's purely decorative. But this particular accessory renders the blinding effect of sand toss utterly useless. For brawler players in Glory, nothing is more hated than a pair of glasses. Thankfully, NPCs aren't so shameless as to put on glasses and pretend to be refined. An NPC under the blind effect loses all sense of direction. It can't find its original aggro target, and players can bully it without it even knowing which way to fight back. Yi Shu's goal, of course, was to get this brawler player to try and trigger the blind effect. Who knew the kid was such a greenhorn? He actually threw his sand toss at Blood Gunner. No idea how he even managed to grind his way up to level 23. He's 2 levels higher than me.
Brick attack.
Yi Shu continued patiently instructing the brawler. Brick Assault was the skill's official in-game name. Yi Shu used the official skill name, just in case this newbie wasn't familiar with the slang. Among players, this skill is simply known as the brick. That's right, the ubiquitous, ever-present brick, the go-to weapon in every street brawl. In Glory, the brawler's brick can be swung directly or thrown, making it a truly formidable weapon. Plus, this skill has a special effect, a 50% chance to stun the target for 3 seconds. But to trigger that effect, you've got to hit him in the head. Also, the brick has a hidden effect. If a back attack hits the head, the chance to stun becomes 100%, lasting 4 seconds. Yi Shu didn't have time to give the brawler a detailed explanation. Fortunately, the brick's headshot stun effect wasn't hidden. It was right there in the skill description. The brawler player had clearly noticed this detail, and his brick was aimed squarely at the blood gunner's head. Unfortunately, he'd thrown the brick. A thrown brick deals half damage, and its chance to stun, along with the stun's duration, is also halved. And the brick flew wide.
Idiot. You pick up the brick and smash it against the back of the head.
Someone else stepped in to give Yi Shu the instruction. The true secret of the brick had never been a secret. Yes, of course, the rookie brawler said with pious eagerness. Yi Shu summoned the Elementalist, and a pillar of flame erupted with a whoosh. Yi Shu gave a satisfied nod. At least this one wasn't a total newbie like the brawler, but against a boss like Blood Gunner, a low-level Flame Strike's launch effect is pretty much negligible. But Yi Shu had already commanded Lord Grimm to follow up with a skill.
Mountain Crusher, Ghost Blade, Deploy a Sword Soul, Sand Toss, Flame, Ghost Slash.
Yishu's commands were crisp and efficient. The 5 players, who had previously thought they were as good as dead, suddenly realized, was dealing with Blood Gunner really this simple? The Blood Gunner, who they couldn't even scratch before, was now being pummeled like a training dummy. Every sword slash landed, every brick smashed home, every spell found its mark. Among the 5 players, the more experienced ones could see it. This was all Lord Grimm coordinating from the center. He used his attacks to keep Blood Gunner perfectly within their range, and the skills he called for them to unleash, they became the perfect setup for the next attacker's control. And so the cycle continued, each link perfectly connecting to the next, allowing them to unleash a satisfying rhythmic assault on the Blood Gunner. Blood Gunner wasn't completely helpless, but every time he fought back, his target was Lord Grimm. Yishu, however, had already seen through his patterns, dodging each attack with perfect timing and never putting his teammates at risk. What had been a chaotic group of 5, treated as corpses, was instantly forged by Yishu into a team with seamless coordination. The 5 of them were using their skills with ease, but Yishu was not relaxed in the slightest. He knew full well that the slightest misstep in skill execution, or the tiniest error in judgment on his part, would instantly flip the entire situation on its head. The players from the 3 major guilds, still standing apart, were now utterly dumbstruck. They had each brought dozens of men, a formidable force with reinforcements on standby. Yet here they were, just watching a ragtag 6-man squad take down the boss, too afraid to make a move. They're all so jittery, looking around like that. It just looks pathetic.
Now that's the kind of command I want to see.
Over on Tyrannical Ambition's side, Ye Wei Yang called out.
Is this really the time to be celebrating?
Guild leader Yedu Hantan's face darkened.
This Lord Grimm, he's actually this terrifying.
Herb Garden was the one guild that had only ever considered Lord Grimm, and was still just watching. Now they had finally seen Lord Grimm's true power. Guild leader Che Qianzi was dumbstruck.
At this rate, that Blood Gunner is really going to get killed by this guy.
Over at Blue River Guild, Lantern Flower Leaf was calling out to Blue River. And so the 3 guild leaders began their strange dance again, shifting this way and that, watching the other 2's reactions with a shared, unspoken understanding. Everyone knew exactly what to do at a time like this.
Take out the other guys. Don't touch Lord Grimm. If they make a move on Lord Grimm, we help.
Blue River gave the order.
Who for?
Someone's not getting the hint and is still asking.
Obviously. You think we're gonna help those 2 bastards?
They all understood.
Which team has a free slot? Add Lord Grimm to the team, right now.
A grim, resolute look settled on everyone's faces. There aren't any openings now, but there will be soon, because someone's bound to die. When they do, they'll respawn at their registered town and automatically drop from the party. The 3 major guilds began to move almost simultaneously,